better just check on there, see if it's streaming on there. Give it a second though. So we need to turn this up because this always turns itself down. So that should hopefully set that up. The camera should look a lot nicer, and hopefully, yeah, looking at it, we're on the right live stream. There we go. Here we go. David Essex says, "Did I miss it? I guess someone claimed the prize then." Hello, hello, wherever you are. No, it's not. Give it a second. I thought there had been an apocalypse, or was it just me? I don't know how to calibrate the artificial horizon in Betaflight. When flying forward, the line gets stuck at the top. Oh boy, I'm still too early. The artificial horizon bar should be calibrated with your gyro. So just.
I think it started chatting at 6.
Oh, did it?
So, yeah, because he was there. He was in my chat when I went on the phone.
Ah, we started fine. Yeah, sorry, I did put in the description, I probably should have made it a bit clearer, that I intended to start at 7, but what I intended to do was launch the stream at 6 so that everybody was aware of it. What I should do, and bear with me because I am still fairly new at all this streaming malarkey, is have like an intro screen, shouldn't I, playing saying going live at 7 p.m, and then at least everybody knows so everyone's not sat there in the dark, so apologies. But yes, it should be. Can you just check the sound levels? Or actually, Dave, let me know if the sound levels are okay. But yes, you should just need to calibrate your gyro, and as long as your gyro's calibrated properly, your artificial horizon should work. I'm 99% sure that's how it works. I've never had the issue, so I'm not 100% sure, but I always calibrate the gyro, and I would assume that is possibly why. Intro screen is a great idea. Yeah, I think it just stops people like yourself being sat there thinking, hang on, the stream has started, and you might not see the 7 p.m. because it's at the end. So, Only Drone says, well, no. Coming through loud and clear, says Milky FPV. Happy days. So, we've got the camera sorted out, and it looks lovely. We've got the sound sorted out, and it sounds lovely. So, I guess we probably should start the stream. So, first of all, thank you, everybody, for turning up. This is the first time we've done it at 7 p.m, and hopefully this should be a bit more of a... what's the word I'm looking for? Friendly time for you guys to be able to join. I have put the smoke machine on, but it actually has gone all the way past the camera. No, it's okay. It's all right. So the smoke machine isn't really being very effective, but you might see smoke wafting around and stuff. Who knows? Alexandro says, yo. Sound is much better than the other day. Bruce, welcome. Welcome, Bruce, mate. Again, I'm so sorry if I ever say your name with an Australian accent. For whatever reason, whenever I see your name, I just instantly assume Australian. Even though I know you're not, even though I do know you are Canadian, but I'm weird. What can I say? David Essex says, I'd prefer earlier, but hey-ho. I'll be honest, Dave, I would also prefer earlier, but the problem is, the reason why I've done a few of these to test the waters to see what time is the best. And it actually seems that from the data that I've had of the other ones and the ones I've done recently, that 7 to 8 is probably about the best. Maybe 8 to 9 might actually be even better, but personally, I'd prefer to do it at 5 o'clock every day, but people are coming home from work, they're commuting, they're driving and whatever, so they may not be able to watch at that time, which is a shame because, like I said, that's what I would prefer. But we've got to sort of balance getting an audience and it working for everybody. So it's we'll get there. Anyway, Q&A time, says Boy Wonder FPV. So what questions have you got, Boy Wonder FPV? First of all...
Q&A time to let everyone know.
Oh, right. Okay, nice. Yes, so you can turn the smoke machine off now, Boy Wonder. Otherwise, it will be forever going off for the rest of the evening. Alexandra says, this is a good time. This is as good a time as any to welcome you all. I do need to do something with that down there. This is an unused old room, and that looks really ugly on camera. So if somebody can give me an idea as to some sort of covering for that old fireplace, that would be brilliant, so let me know. Yes, Alexandra says it's 8 p.m. here in Europe. Of course, you guys set your clocks an hour forward, and here in the UK, we've set our clocks back to 1960. Did the comp get claimed? It did. So what happened last night is the person who... Well, actually, let me ask you guys what you guys think, because I think this is fair. But if you guys don't think it's fair, then we'll run it again. But the person who won it on Sunday messaged last night and said, I'm really sorry, but I've been travelling. Am I too late to claim it? Now, I haven't replied to that person yet. The person who won it yesterday has not claimed it. So my thoughts are, and let me know if you guys agree, we should give it to the person that won it on Sunday because they have come forward. However, the rules were very strict. I did say by 4 p.m. the next day. So if you guys are minded to say, nope, the rules are this and therefore we have to draw it again, then I'll draw it again. I want to be as fair as possible on everybody who enters the competition at the end of the day. So if that's what you want me to do, I will happily redraw it. After all, the person on Sunday was told they had to claim it by 4 p.m. on Monday, and it's now 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So is it fair to let them have it? Maybe not. Oh yeah, I got a few dropped frames. Let me know if we've got any problems on the stream. We have got a warning. The internet's not brilliant in this room, but we'll fix it. It's 3:06 p.m. in Canada. Are you in Ontario, Bruce? For some reason, I think you are. Caroline Tyler, yo, welcome. Caroline, I have great news. My Chupito is arriving tomorrow, and I am super, super excited. But I do have a question for you, Caroline. So I've got one of these. Well, I've got a few of these, actually, from my other fixed wings and stuff. But because it's TBS, does it have Crossfire built into that little module thing that comes with it? I think it probably does, which is fine because I've got TBS transmitters, JR bays and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to assume I can't use that, and I'm probably going to have to use Crossfire. Is that right? I mean, I can work it out, but since you're here, I might as well ask you because you are the Chupito expert here in the UK. Please don't do that. Only Draw says, right, why is it taking 7 hours, my phone, to move data from my portable hard drive to the PC? Boy Wonders answered you. Yeah, slow hard drive. Actually, no, what it'll be is it'll be a slow cable. It'll probably not be a USB 3 cable. If both devices, and I know your PC is USB 3, so if the portable hard drive is also USB 3, it'll be the fact that the cable is probably USB 2. Or even worse. Okay, Boy Wonder, can you just do me a favour? Can you just pick that up off the floor so it doesn't get trodden on and just move it somewhere. Just somewhere. Right, so David Essex says, not fair. Bruce says, hi, Caroline. Just subbed to you yesterday. Cool to see that you're here. David Essex says, draw again. I think that's probably going to be the fairest. Just move that out of the way. I think that's probably going to be the fairest. See, if I sit back in this chair, I need to just adjust this f-stop a little bit. I think that is probably going to be the fairest way of doing it, isn't it, really? Rules is rules, unfortunately. I'd love to have anyone win it. Draw it again. Keep Milky in the game. Nova Scotia. Oh, man. Flying in Nova Scotia must be like a paradise. I haven't... There we go. Flying in Nova Scotia must be like a paradise, Bruce. Not jealous in any way, shape or form. Caroline Tyler says, no RX included. So, Caroline, does that mean then? Does that mean I can just plug this into it? I assume it means I can just plug this into it because it's... What is the word for these? I don't fly fixed wing anywhere near enough. But yeah, because that would make it so much better for all the other content that I've got to do. So I'm pretty sure I should just better plug it in. I don't know. Well, no, because I don't know. Caroline will let me know. Caroline's a legend. I built my Chupito with ELRS, says Nicholas. Caroline says, I had mine set up on Crossfire and ELRS with my Taffin modification. Only Drone says, I need to see cake. David Essex says, draw it tonight! As long as it has serial output. Oh. Why are you asking me these technical things? Oh, it's just a thing, isn't it? It's just a... Huh? I do need to fly fixed wing more and learn. Caroline, by the way, can everybody just give Caroline a sub who's here, who isn't sub to Caroline? Because Caroline actually made me a head tracker for my fixed wing up there that I showed you the other day. And it is the most immersive thing ever. It is absolutely phenomenal to sit there and to be able to move your head and look around as you're flying fixed wing is the most amazing thing ever. It really, really is. And I can't thank Caroline enough for doing that. The port is Crossfire compatible. So, yeah, I think we're good. It's Luke says, hello again, Quads. Loving this stream every day. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate the support, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Did you break anything last night? You did say you was out to break something. So, fingers crossed you did. Otherwise... you'll have lied to me, and if you've lied to me, then unfortunately the drone gods will punish you, and they're not very forgiving. Trust me, I know. You want the same sort of receiver as a quadcopter? Oh, I've got many of those, Caroline. Many, many, many of those. So I just plugged the wires in to because I've seen. I'm not very technical. Well, do I just solder it in? I'll have a look when it comes tomorrow. Unless, have you got a video of it, Caroline, actually? I don't know if you can drop it in the chat. But if you've got a video of how you wired your receiver, let me know. Because, I mean, I can work it out. But it'd be easier if I just knew what I was doing as soon as it arrived. Because, ideally, I'd like to maiden it tomorrow night or Wednesday at the very latest. So, damn, my N3 wouldn't update without my Neo. I could still fly my 04. But the connect to DJI message is annoying. So if you've got that connect to DJI message, what you need to do is get a USB-C to USB-C cable, plug it into your goggles, and then plug it into your phone once your 04 is connected. What that will then do is, or it should automatically open the DJI Fly app. If it doesn't, manually open the DJI Fly app, click Go Fly, make sure you select 04. You'll see on the screen a live feed from your 04, unplug it, and that connect to DJI Fly to fly outside will have then vanished forever. I sliced a lipo blade connector and broke a 3D print. Brilliant. The drone gods will be happy then. Caroline Tyler says it's on my uploaded video. Fantastic. I got about halfway through it when I left my comment, but then life just got... I mean, I'm sure we all know exactly what happens. Life just gets in the way, doesn't it? So I'll watch that later in bed, and I'll be ready and firing on all cylinders in the morning. I've actually got a Gemini receiver, and I think that's probably going to be a great fit for it, because obviously we've got the TX15. I've got a Gemini module in my other Boxer as well, so I think a Gemini receiver is probably going to do pretty well. Chupito build notes and maiden 4 minutes and 34 seconds in. That's why I love you, Caroline. Thank you so much. And again, I mean it genuinely. Thank you so much for that head tracker, because it is one of the best, most immersive things in FPV. The only problem with that cub is where I fly. It's quite often gets bogged down, so it can be difficult. I just wish I had a little bit more of a... I mean, I could go with Andy RC and those lot up to that field, but that's a bit of a trek from here, and then obviously I've got... life gets in the way. So I'd love to fly fixed wing more, hopefully. Hopefully that's what we'll do, because I love it. I absolutely love it. It's Luke Says, made a quick 20 quid from a rando guy who wanted a video of him. Happy days, man. Happy days. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Flight Risk says it started... Hi, just started at 66. Got a flight controller. I think it's a Giro. Props on the right way. As motor connected in order. And it flips. That sounds like either your props are not on the right ones, or you may have set it to the wrong way. So, right, no, hang on. Let me explain properly, sorry. So you may have set it on your motor tab to props out, but you may have installed your props as props in. Or the other thing might be, when you tilt the gyro in Betaflight, does the image of the drone tilt in the same way as when you tilt in it? Otherwise, that will also cause it to flip. 99.9% of the time, it's an incorrectly installed prop. Bruce says, I have a question. How on earth did my 04 light survive ripping that board off? Regluing it with B7000 and putting it back together with a new MIPI. Amazed. Do you know what? The 04, they are fragile. There's no two ways about it, I've got to be honest. But they're also quite resilient as well. As long as you've still got the bits connected to the board, most of them can be sort of fixed back together. I heard a rumour, and it is only a rumour at this time. I have, I don't have anything to back it up, but I believe what I've been told. The Neo 2, which has been seen recently again in the wild, has an updated version of the 04 Lite in it, which is virtually as good as the 04 Pro, but not quite. And then they'll be releasing that version out to us as FPV, but it will come as a proper package like an 04 Pro does, rather than just as a bare board. But it will be still extremely lightweight. I've got no reason to doubt the person. The person has given me information in the past and it's always been right. However, I haven't actually got anything to back it up with, so take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not saying that it's definitely true, but bear that in mind. David Essex says, have you tested the ELRS LBT update yet? What's the ELRS LBT update? EUC says, I did that, and it said my goggles have an update. And I was like, okay, update, connected devices. And now it wants me to pick a drone. Yes, so when you go and pick a drone, pick the 04. When you pick the 04, it'll then connect to it, and then it will get rid of that message for you. You know, people pay hundreds for this advice. Mine did a 40-foot floor hit, and it's sound. Bird's eye view of Hamburg. Good evening, welcome. Guten Tag. You are in Germany, aren't you? I hope I've got that right. Just a man and his cameras. Welcome. I'm so glad that you've made it, buddy. How's it going? Are you still lighting your barbecues with an FPV drone? Because if you are still a legend. Well, you're still a legend anyway. Right, so I've got a little bit of updates about the channel and what we're doing. Obviously, as I've already mentioned, first of all, we've got the TBS Chupito coming tomorrow. I aim to try my very best to get that built and ideally maidened tomorrow evening, but if not, Wednesday evening. It just depends on how quickly I can get it together and how much light we lose before it's together. But Caroline should hopefully be able to let me know. It looks like it's fairly straightforward, so it shouldn't be a mega problem. Bird's Eye says, hey everyone. Oh no, I've done that, sorry. Bruce says, hi. And Just a Man in His Camera says, LOL. And then the other bit of update, I suppose, is I don't know if we've seen it, and I can bring it up on the PC if you want me to bring it up on the PC. What I'm going to do eventually, once again, at the minute I'm spending as much time outside as I possibly can before the winter comes. When the winter comes, this camera is in front of this desk. I'm going to move this camera behind that desk so that I can sit up to this desk and I can control things a lot easier, and I can actually see things as well. And I'll do that once the weather changes so that these streams can be a little bit better than what they are now. I didn't have the 04 as an option. Oh. Somehow the warning was still there, so I figured I had to update. Yeah, I assume you've tried to reboot everything, but it should be as simple as that, to be honest. Weird. Bruce says, Chupito is really refreshing. I'm not going to drink it, but I might smash it into my face. Ripped a semiconductor off my 04 Pro the other day. Sold it back on and all is good, says Spider Lee. JJ says, once again, thanks for the GPS rescue setup video. We've got another one coming out as well, actually. Working great on the Nazgul Evoke. Still trying to get used to the power of a 5-inch. Struggling to slow down and land tidy. Using GPS to land. Sorry, but hi, by the way. No problems, Spider. That's the other thing as well. I have to look over there to read your comments. So I'm gonna rearrange this. Got permission to fly at my local school, says Luke. Nice. It's the Evo, got a new AIO and motor. Flying again, excellent. I love my It's the Evo. The MIPI on these cameras are very fragile. They genuinely are. Get some E6000 and glue those cables down. JJ, so I was actually thinking, funnily enough, genuinely, I was flying today and I thought, one question I have been asked a few times is how to land. And I did sort of half do a tutorial and then I never put it out because it just wasn't good enough. I appreciate if I'm going to put a video out, it needs to be of good quality. And it just wasn't, is the simple answer. And I was thinking today, as I was landing the Spider Sora, which, by the way, guys, for anybody that didn't hear yesterday, it's releasing on October the 15th. Spider have told me that it will be in extremely limited numbers. They haven't specifically said what. I don't think they can say what at this moment in time. But just, if you want one, get on it on the 15th because you will probably be waiting a while after that. Yeah, just bear that in mind. And I was thinking, as I was landing, obviously on that you land on the battery. Now, Caroline will attest to this, but back in the day when we all started FPV, we all had batteries that was underneath. So for us OG pilots, landing on a battery isn't anything. It really isn't. But I remembered earlier. Gross says, hey man, landing tutorial, Dave in Essex. Yeah. I didn't reboot afterwards. I'll try again then. Yeah, just power it on now while we're talking and let me know. But then I remembered what Only Drone said to me when I told him about the Spider. And he said, oh, the battery's on the bottom. It's only for pros then, I take it. Now, you can put the battery on the top, but the recommendation is the battery goes on the bottom because it balances out the weight better. And it got me thinking today as I was landing, because, like I say, for us OGs, us old people, hey Caroline, no offence, I'm not calling you old, but you know what I mean. God, I've just called a lady old. I will never financially recover from this. However, yeah, so as I was landing, I was like, okay, we need a landing tutorial. We do, because people are going to want to buy this and they're going to want to land on the battery, but they're not going to have necessarily the confidence or the understanding of how to actually slow down. And it's very similar to how you would fly a plane. So essentially what you want to do is you want to come in at an angle and you want to flare your nose to slow you down. And then it's about just putting the bottom down and then disarming, basically. And that's ultimately what I'm going to record. I don't know if I can record it tomorrow because of the Chupito and I've got other commitments in life. But if I can't, I will try and record it at some point this week and get it out for the weekend, because I think that's quite an important thing, especially with an underslung battery. And then next week we'll reconfigure the Spider and we'll stick the battery on top and we'll see how differently it flies and whether we'd recommend you flying it in that way or not. Caroline Tyler says, I am old. I'm glad you said that, Caroline. And you didn't say, oi, git, because... landing on a turning cake plate. Okay, it's on. In fact, we can make that the next Sickie challenge. So for anybody that's wondering what's happening with the Sickie challenge, I did mention it the other day. I have recorded the intro to it. I am just putting it together for an edit, probably for the weekend now. And it will be the last Sickie challenge of the year. It's going to be a good one. And then in the new year, we're reconfiguring everything. We're putting things in a different way. And we're going to make it easier for you to submit your footage. And we're going to make it easier for us to get your footage out there. And ultimately, it's going to be a whole host better. But this will be the last one for the year. So please do take part in it, because the Sickie challenges are great fun. And it's all about challenging yourself. It's not about, oh, can I be as good as this person? Or can I be as good as that person? It really isn't. It's all about just challenging yourself, seeing how good you can be against yourself. I'm also going to put another light there in front, so that we haven't got that cast coming over there. So we're gonna improve things. We're constantly improving things. I am, at the end of the day, like I've said, I am fairly new to all this streaming game, and but yeah, what can I put here? What can I put on this old fireplace to make it look a bit more attractive? Give me some ideas. Give me some, yeah. Grove says, sorry man, but I am a sim FPV pilot and I post flight videos on this channel and would be deeply honoured if you would just watch one of my videos. I'll tell you what I'll do for you. So I'm going to launch the last Sickie Challenge. For anybody that doesn't know what the Sickie Challenge is, it's the Smash It or Crash It Challenge that I started earlier on this year. And I will do 3 variations of one challenge, getting more and more difficult each time. You're a sim pilot, so that's awesome. That's cool. What I want you to do is I want you to take part in the Sickie Challenge. Record the video of you trying it, upload it, put it together in one. Try all 3 if you can. And there you go. There you go. Not only will we watch your video, but we'll showcase your video on this channel as well. And we'll showcase everybody's video who submits their Sickie Challenge. And what we'll try and do is we'll try and get it done so that it ends in maybe November. And then we can have some sort of system to pick a winner. Just a man on your camera. Are you there, by the way? I need to speak to you. I've got words to have with you. Let me know if you're still there. And then we'll try and arrange a prize for the winner to receive it before Christmas. That's what we're going to try and do. So we're ambitious. It sounds like Christmas is ages away, but when you factor in potential global shipping, and yeah, it's not. It's really not. So landing tutorial is a great idea, and it's a one thing you can't practice in The Sims. That's it. In The Sims, you can land and you can sort of simulate it, of course, but it's just not the same. It really isn't. Luke says, best 4S Lipo. The best ones are the GNB 880 4S LIHV. They're the best ones I've got at the minute. They will take most craft over 250 grams. But remember, as of the 1st of January, the regulations are changing and that minimum weight is increasing. Luke says, I've got to be back soon. When you done? I will be finished for 8 p.m. JJ says, awesome, thanks, no problems. Club Alexandra says, I'm waiting for the TBS Shaniti to come out. Just a Man in His Camera says, yes. Right, Just a Man in His Cameras, you won the last Sickie Challenge. Send me a DM with your address, please, sir. I need to send you something. I was going to announce it on the Sickie video, then I remembered I'd recorded it on an old intro, and I was going to go out and re-record it. But since you're here, my friend, I will tell you now. But you are the winner of the last Sickie Challenge. I need you to DM me your address so I can send you something in the postal service. However, if Donald Trump decides to slap a tariff on it, that's not my fault. That's freedom and the price of it. So bear that in mind. EU says, what's the challenge? You're going to have to wait for the video. But it's going to push you, and it's going to push you. Well, I say that, it may not push you. You may think, actually, this challenge is a doddle. I'm going to struggle with this challenge. This is the easiest challenge ever. Because, as I mentioned the other day, there is a group, shall I say, that's doing crazy tiny up challenges, flying through strangers' legs, landing on police cars. And as much as I'm somebody who likes to push and bend the rules and the regulations, flat out breaking them like that is, in my opinion, irresponsible with the platform that I have. So I'm not going to make it as crazy as that. Just a Man says, sweet, understand. You just drop me a Discord message is probably the easiest way, or team@squadquads.co.uk, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Grow says, I think how not earn any opportunity in that challenge earlier because I fly without a radio on my phone. That doesn't matter, Growth. If you fly with a radio on your phone and you want to take part in the challenge, then take part in the challenge. Hello, Boy Wonder.
Hello, I'll be back in a second.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Then take part, because then we can showcase your videos. Just a Man says, understand. EU says, oh, it will probably push me. So I'm not even going to give a hint, because I want it to, when we do it, I want you to be like, right, okay, let's do this. It's going to be done obviously over September, October, and then we'll announce the winner around about November-ish. So we should still have some nice weather to get it done. But it's going to, basically the way it works is, number 1 is the easy one, number 2 is intermediate, and number 3 is a more difficult one. But yeah, so the point is, what I was saying, other groups have got some extreme challenges out there, and that's fine. That's up to them. I don't think it's responsible personally to do that. I'm not going to name them or slag them off. I just disagree with it. It's fine. Everyone's different. You know, it's not a problem. But we're not going to do that. So what the Sicky Challenge is basically all about is you seeing something that somebody else has done and saying, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to do that, and I'm going to challenge myself to do that at varying levels, and we'll do that at varying levels until you feel comfortable. But I don't want you to break anything. I don't want you to fly beyond your skill. But what it does is it pushes you to do the same thing in repetition, and doing the same thing in repetition is how we learn and how we get better at things. So that's it. The other thing I want to talk about for anybody who isn't aware is Betaflight. Looking forward to the last challenge, but should be vaguely responsible. Yeah, it's not going to be, like I say, it's the last one of the year, and next year we're going to come back bigger and better. I like to push regulations. I like to push right to the very edge of the regulations, and sometimes just bend them a little bit. But it's not responsible to completely flat out break them and then encourage loads of other people to do the same. It's dangerous and it's irresponsible, and I'm old and boring, so I'm not going to do that. What do you recommend as a beginner Beta FPV radio? The Beta FPV have got a SIM-only controller. I don't have it here. Boy Wonder stole it and taken it to his bedroom. But if you look back in the past couple of weeks, I did do a review of it. It's like $18, so it's really super, super cheap. And that is SIM-only. You can plug that into your phone. Works really well. I did it whilst I was on holiday. Boy Wonder and Little Wonder was playing whilst we was on holiday as well, and it like the video's over the top, and you know it's kids, and we decided to do it in a different way, but actually it did hold their attention quite well, especially when our accommodation didn't have any Wi-Fi, so they was limited to the games they could play, and they both wanted to play that all the time. So, when they wasn't outside running around being lunatics, of course. So yeah, Betaflight. For anybody that doesn't know and hasn't heard, there's going to be no Betaflight 4.6. I did see a video yesterday saying it's been cancelled. It hasn't been cancelled, but it is going to change when we move forward. So I was updating a drone yesterday that sat on my desk that I wish I could show you. The redacted drone is literally just there. In fact, where's my finger? The redacted drone is just literally there. But I'm not allowed to show you. I'll get into big trouble. But I was updating it, and I noticed when I was updating it to 4.6 didn't exist anymore. And I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. And I've had a look, and basically the way Betaflight is going to name the new releases moving forward is 4.6 is going to be released in December this year, and it will be named Betaflight 2025.12. They're going to go to a 6-monthly release schedule. So what would have been Betaflight 4.7 will get the release name of Betaflight 2026.06, because that will be released 6 months later in June 2026. What would be Betaflight 4.8 will be Betaflight 2026.12, and so on and so forward. Caroline Tyler says, have to wait until December for what would have been the 4.6 release. Yep, you're absolutely right. I've been flying 4.6 since December last year. Potentially, and I don't want to misspeak, but I think potentially I might have been flying it since November last year. It seems to be one of the longest development cycles I've known in Betaflight history, but they have implemented a few nice things, and there are a few nice things on there that are, well, quite nice. The position and altitude hold is lovely. Combining them together and giving you a little bit of a breather mode. I mean, I know we call it the panic mode, but it's more like a breather mode. You can flick both switches and just be like, right, okay, just take a second, and then you can carry on. But I do know that they did have some severe bugs in it last year, but I haven't seen anything like I said, I've been flying it on the regular for, since at least December. Running Betaflight 4.6, but I struggle to find release notes for new builds. They're normally on the GitHub, is normally where they are. Right, you guys want me to redraw this competition, so Okay, hold up a second. I am still here. The camera's just turned off. Just give me 1 second. There we go. That should. There we go. It didn't necessarily turn off. It was just because the plug came out. Okay. Now then, let's have a look. This is the problem. It's my problem, of course, but not your problem. But this is the problem. Oh yes, I am back. The whole message. Oh shit! as soon as it went out, I was like, oh no. But it's okay. Stevie B says, "Let it be me." I thought you was playing statues. I could very easily play statues, but yeah, not on this occasion, Caroline. I'm afraid. I just got to find this video now. You got to see my whole watch history, of course. Nothing dodgy in there, thankfully. But again, this is why I need to be a little bit better organised for these. But hey ho, I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Right. We're not going to give you guys another opportunity. We are literally just going to draw it, and let's see where the numbers fall. David in Essex! Some will call that a fix, David, that you're the one that demanded a recount, or a redraw, should I say, and you win. So congratulations, David in Essex. I need you to email me, team@squadquads.co.uk before 4 o'clock tomorrow to claim your prize. If you do not, we will redraw it tomorrow as per your own rules. But let's be fair, you are in the chart, and there's no way that this isn't getting claimed today, because it was down to you ultimately. Yes, there you go. Yeah, do you know, you couldn't, if I hadn't have done it live and I'd have just been like, oh yeah, David Essex won, you'd have all been like, this is just so dodgy, this is just YouTube dodginess. But you did see it's a live web page, because I had to go to my own YouTube watch history, which says a lot about me, doesn't it? So yeah, that's that really. And I guess now the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes, hopefully Dave will send me that email before we've even finished on stream. But I guess for the next 10 or 15 minutes, it's just a case of asking you guys and girls if you've got any questions, if you want to know anything. What number do you want me to put? Drop me an email first. Drop me an email, and then I'll tell you what to post and where. Although to be fair, I mean, yeah. No, if you do it via email, and then at least I know the details and the name and stuff is actually genuinely you. As stupid as that sounds, if I then get another email off somebody else, yeah. Fix! Yeah, honestly, Steve, dodgy this day, fella. Absolute Dodgy Dave, that's what we call him, isn't it, Dave? We call you Dodgy Dave in Essex. I couldn't, like I say, I'm just so glad that I didn't have the webpage already open, because it just looked like such a fix, did that. But at least without having that webpage already open, and you actually see me search my history and stuff. I liked him with Sunita. Dodgy Dave? Dodgy Dave? Do you have any videos teaching us to upgrade Betaflight firmware onto a flight controller? I don't think I specifically have an upgrade video, but I can make one. I can probably make one tomorrow, because that's a relatively easy thing for me to do. Really good bad boy. If you want me to do that, I'm more than happy to do that. Because I think, especially newbies, forgive me if you're not a newbie, but especially newbies, they do get a little bit confused when it comes to the drivers and having the right ones installed. And when it doesn't work, what do we do there? What's your favourite all-in-one for a 4S? Generally, because I'm cheap, man. I am so cheap. I like the Neutron AM32 boards for 4S. If as long as they haven't increased in price when I go to buy one, those are generally the first ones that I'll pick. But even the JHE-MCU ones, I don't mind them. At first, I wasn't a massive fan of those. I thought, But actually, I've got them in a few Avion quads. I've got them in the Spider as well. And they're okay. Yeah, they're okay. They're a good solution. There are better, but they haven't caused me any issues to think, oh, God, I need to change this. A really good bad boy says, hell yeah. Yep, no worries, leave that with me. David. Oh, musicals. Oh, okay, Caroline. I'm sorry. I am not as classically trained as yourself. I do apologise. But, yeah. When's football on? Yeah, that's the other thing, actually. For anybody that doesn't know, as you probably all know, I am a massive Manchester United fan. And you'll probably know that from a lot of my videos when I'm wearing a Manchester United shirt or some sort of Manchester United paraphernalia. You know, I quite often go to games. They've been a massive part of my life for over 30 years, if not even a bit longer now. So what I decided to do at the first game of the season, I said, whoever correctly predicts the score and the scorers, this is the really important thing that people keep missing out, predict the score and the scorers, whoever gets it right, and if two people get it right, it'll be whoever got it right first, will win a ready-to-fly drone kit. Now, I'm not going to specifically say what it is because I'm not 100% sure what it is or what I've actually got available yet. But all you need to do is whenever Manchester United play, I will put a community post up. I do put quite a few up. And it's just a case of picking what you think the score will be and who you think the scorers will be. So if you say, as an example, Manchester United versus Manchester City, I think it'll be 1-1. I need to know the scorer for Manchester United and I need to know the score for Manchester City. Whoever gets that right first, if there's two consecutive guesses with the same guess, it'll be the first person that did it. Really good bad boy, added a super chat, $4.99. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, but we do eternally thank you for it. It does help us with the channel and buying stuff. And, you know, there isn't a huge amount of manufacturers that are willing to work with us because quite often we will say our unfiltered and honest opinion. That's just the way it is, but that's how I want the channel to be. I want the channel to be able to stand on its own 2 feet, and hopefully one day we'll be big enough whereby we can buy everything and never receive anything for free from a manufacturer, because then that way, you know, we are completely independent. And there are too many channels out there these days where they are receiving stuff for free and they are just giving it a glowing review and they're not even touching on the bad points. As an example, there was a reviewer who I actually considered to be a relatively close friend who reviewed one of the first 1S 04 light drones, but because it didn't have a beck, it would brown out really, really quickly, normally on the first punch out. But this particular person didn't ever mention that and just said how great it was. And that's the danger when you're getting sent stuff for free. You feel obliged to make sure you mention just good parts. And that's not what we do here. And that's why a lot of manufacturers won't work with us. You know, I'll call out manufacturers. Sub 250 work with us, and I like Sub 250, but I call them out, stop using a micro USB. There is no need in 2025 to use a micro USB, especially when your board in the Oasis Fly has got a removable USB-C instead of a micro USB. Like, just stop doing it. So we will always be honest, and it is at the detriment to the channel. Radio Master complete point blank refused to work with us. Just no. So we have to self-fund everything from Radio Master. Jumper initially said they would work with us but didn't. Hello Radio said they would work with us but then didn't, but then they did send us the upgrade kit. So but that wasn't a review. The upgrade kit of the V14 was never an upgrade. It was just a video of, in fact, that reminds me actually. that was just a video of, if you've got this, you can now stick an OLED screen in it if you didn't get one with an OLED screen, and a clear case. There was no, in fact, there isn't even a link to buy this. If you do want to buy this, you can do. You can contact Ken directly. If you just send him an email, I don't know how much it is, but you can buy an OLED and a clear case off him direct. But and that's the point. So what I'm trying to say in a convoluted way, sorry, really bad boy, is thank you so much for the super chat. I say too many words. Where are we? Yeah, that's a shame, says Bruce. Neo Flow says, yo, it is a shame, Bruce. But at the same time, I would love to be in a position where the channel is making enough money, and it isn't anywhere near making money yet, but I would love it where we're making enough money that when a new release comes out, we can buy it on day one and we can get an honest, unfiltered opinion out of everything. I mean, we always do an unfiltered, honest opinion, don't get me wrong, but at least you guys know if the channel ever gets it to that sort of level, and I'm probably talking, we'd probably need to be about 250,000 subscribers to make enough money to buy all the stuff in. But at least that way there is no outside influence and nobody could ever accuse us. There was somebody who left a comment the other week who said, oh, you're doing too many commercial reviews and it's starting to feel like shilling. And I understand why they said it, because we'd received a few drones for free. But in every one of those videos, I always mention the negative. I mentioned a negative in the Radio Master TX15. But like I say, unfortunately, Radio Master don't want to work with us. But then also, I mentioned a negative in the sub 250 Dolly Fly 16, which I have to admit, surprised me. I thought it was going to be trash. I really did. When they said, oh, do you want one? I'm like, yeah, I will, because it's sub 250 and I like your stuff. But really? I actually used that commercially chasing those trams up and down the hill, which I thought was brilliant. USB-C frustrates me just as, because the cable fits doesn't mean it will charge your devices, and don't negotiate the same way. I've never had that in FPV. Email sent, thank you. Mini 5 giveaway next. Yeah, we'll do a Mini 5 giveaway. If you can just send me the money to buy one, not a problem. Getting sponsors is hard, man. It is, Neo. It is. What's frustrating with Radio Master is I did see somebody who had a much sub count doesn't mean everything, but they have a much lower sub count, much lower interaction rate, and Radio Master are sending them stuff on day one. But it is what it is. It is what it is. If they don't want to work with us, that's fine. The companies that do want to work with us, I've got much more respect for, because they know, and we always have the conversation, look, if you're going to send me something, the review is going to be honest. If there is a problem in it, I will raise that problem. And so far, they've all been like, yeah, that's fine. We stand behind our product. And that says a lot. Darwin FPV don't, and probably never will. Bruce says, I do not ever get a sense of shilling from your content. I find you very objective. And then that's what I try to be, Bruce. I genuinely do try to be that way. I'm probably not very objective about Darwin FPV because their stuff is trash, and I'll always call that out. I've never ever had anything off Darwin FPV that I've remotely thought was any good. There was that one thing, that tiny ape, which was fun to fly and actually quite surprised me, but then the flight controller died after like a flight, and then if you update it in a certain way, you can't then copy your configuration back over because it bricks the flight control. Just trash. And I tried to talk to them about it, and they're not interested, and that's fine, it's not a problem. And that's the thing as well, is I'm not bitter about it. If a company isn't willing to stand behind their product, that says more about them than it does about us as a channel. And I am not in any way, shape or form bitter about it. I've been getting posted by Radio Master for years now. They don't like to support, man. Yeah. It is what it is, mate. It is what it is. Like I say, I've seen channels with a I think I saw a channel with about 2,000 subs get the TX15. And I just thought, okay, that's fine. And that particular video that went out was nothing but glowing. But it's fine. It's honestly fine. I would much prefer to build this channel to be completely independent. And that's the ultimate goal. That's the long-term goal, to have a completely 100% independent channel where we buy everything into review, we review it, and then, I mean, we are getting to the stage where we are probably going to start giving some of this stuff where we're not quite at that stage yet, but, you know, I do get asked all the time, have you got a free drone for me? I normally get asked on the new ones, which are a bit more difficult to give away because obviously then people have got questions and I've got to go back to them. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bruce says, and it was missing screws. I think, yes, it was. Yes. It was just awful. The QC, that was one of the reasons why I started doing the QC segment, because it was just put together so poorly. And then I went out to fly at the cooling towers and it wouldn't arm. So then they said, yo, change this setting and change that setting. And I think we might have got it working, and then it died after a flight, and then they sent another flight controller out and that did the same. And it's still sat on my desk upstairs and hasn't moved since that video was made. It's still got a walk nail system in it. I should probably pull that out and put that in something else, shouldn't I, really? Just really quickly, I am going to be doing a 5-inch comparison video similar to the sub 250 sub 4-inch comparison video that I did. I'm going to do that shortly as well. So yeah, we've also got the Axis flying build, which is half edited, but so many things have happened, and with that not being a new drone and that being a resource, I do need to get that edited this week and get that out whenever. Really good says. Okay, nice. Glad you're helping each other. I really appreciate that. Neo says it is what it is, like you said. Yep. UNC says, hey bruv, love your videos. Thanks, man. Appreciate that a lot. JJ says, I only ever go to yourself or Bardwell when I'm trying to learn stuff. I like the interaction and the community of this channel. Keep up the good work, man. Great stuff. Thanks so much, JJ. We're not as big as Bardwell, but if I keep making videos on the same subjects, it's not necessarily going to get the channel anywhere. But if we can build a resource and it helps you guys, then that's fine by me. And that makes me happy at the end of the day. There's two sort of reasons why we want to do it. The one reason is we want to make enough money so that the channel can be completely independent. That's the ultimate goal. But then the other one is so we can make enough resources so that no matter what help you need, we've got a video to give it you. And then that way, because of the interaction and the community that we have around this channel, you'll come back to us. And ultimately, that's what we want to do. We want to have both of them. Boy Wonder, hello.
After a while.
You are.
I'll try not to get on camera here. I think I'm good.
Alexandro says, so the reason why you're wearing a mask so that you can talk bad about FPV products and manufacturers and you don't have problems with the Chinese FPV mafia. They've all got my name and address. It's not a secret. Like any of them at any point could send the Chinese mafia out. What do they call the Chinese mafia? The U? I don't know. Does it begin with a Y? Go on, Boy Wonder. We did. David Essex won it. The guy who said we must redraw it. Crazy. It looks like a fix. UNC says it helps me out all the time. Really, genuinely, honestly, that makes it all worthwhile. Like I say, we sort of balancing the scales a little bit. So I'm trying to part of the week film educational content, part of the week film reviews, part of the week film a little bit of entertaining content, and we're trying to mix it all up. And the algorithm doesn't like that. So sometimes a video will go out and it'll get 5,000 views or 10,000 views, and sometimes it'll get less than 1,000 views. And I've just got to take that on the chin. That is just the way it's going to be until the channel builds that history of, oh, okay, so maybe on a Monday it's education, maybe on a Wednesday it's maybe on a Wednesday it's a review, and then maybe on a Friday it's entertainment. But it's balancing the time of getting all them together when stuff comes in and stuff needs doing. But that's the goal. That's where we want to go. Lovely Discord too. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that. I do love our Discord. I think it's brilliant. It's not massive. I think we've got about 150 members, but it is such a nice place to be in. There's no egos. Everyone's chill. It's just like me, really. It's just exactly how I wanted it to be, and so far it's been perfect. Yazuka, that's Japan. So what is The Yazuka from G. So what is a Chinese mafia? It's just a Chinese mafia, I suppose. Right, the reason I'm holding this in my hand is before we finish, and we are going to finish now, I've got a list of suggestions for our...
GPS rescue. Oh no, something's gone tragically wrong.
I've got a list of ideas already for some of these Switch voice prompts, but if you've got any other ideas, please leave a comment on this video, and I'll pick them up afterwards. And I'm going to get these recorded and hopefully out for the weekend with other stuff as well. Like I say, we're trying to balance sort of... Oh, I think the power pack's gone out. Yeah, that's okay. What we're trying to do is balance some days of educational content, some days of entertainment, some days of reviews. A bit difficult, but we're trying. This is another one.
Pre-arm. Everybody, stand back. It's about to go down. GPS rescue. Oh no, something's gone tragically wrong.
The GPS rescue is my favourite.
I love that GPS rescue one. And we'll release them as a voice pack for free for everybody. So all you need to do is drag them onto your radio and just set them up as per the videos that we've made. We've got another educational video of this to show you how to do it on a non-colour touchscreen. It's a very slightly different process, but it's not anything that's too taxing for you guys. And if it is, you can just follow along anyway, because that's how we make it. I would be more afraid of Manchester soccer hooligans than Chinese mafia. To be fair, maybe that's why I'm wearing a mask. Maybe I've got a banning order. I was a naughty boy when I was younger, to be fair. I did go to quite a few away games in Europe, and it got messy, I've got to be honest. But we never had a fight in Italy, Alexandro. It was mainly Turkey, to be fair. Turkey was bad. Turkey was a bad one. Stevie B says, yes, sign me up. UNC says, can you do a custom Betaflight colour text images for craft names? You can, but it only works on either WTF OS or HD0. It's actually quite easy to do. It's really easy to do, but it only works on those two systems. So unless you're running those two systems, although there is an analog chip that does colour as well, but I don't think anyone's got those. Did my email come through? I don't know, David. I'm on a live stream and I don't know. Hang on, let me have a look. This man is expecting me to do two things at once. I haven't frozen. I'm sorry. I haven't frozen. I haven't unplugged the cable again. Right, let's have a look. Yes, I have received your email and I have a partnership email as well. Amazing. Not interested. Let me have a look at your email actually in case you put something funny in it that I need to read out. No, you didn't. Oh, Dave. Dodgy Dave. You will forever be known as Dodgy Dave from now on. Right, listen, have an amazing evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Caroline Tyler, for helping out with the receiver. I will go and check your video now.
And me helping out for them.
And you, yep. Spider says, I'm terrible for inconsistency on my channel. Never does it any good, but I get bored with the same stuff. That's sort of killer stream today. Quads, thanks so much, Bruce. That's sort of why I changed mine up, because I was just doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas now, I love the different things I'm doing, but the algorithm's going to take a little while to catch up, because we was doing sort of 10,000 views on a lot of videos, and then we sort of changed it up, and some have done like 300 or 800 views, which is poor, really poor for the number of subs we've got. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at the bigger picture, not today, and we're building and we're building and we're building, and that's all that matters, and you guys are here, and I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm used to that nickname. All right, I'll think of something else. Thanks, Squad, says Just a Man. Stevie B says Top Man. And that is me done. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight with us. I'm going to have to lean forward and bring myself out of focus to end the stream. Have you done an NC 500? Any tips of where to fly? Save that for the next live stream. Hopefully we can do one at this time tomorrow, but I will keep you all updated on my community feed. Have a great evening, everybody. Peace out. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for the super chat. It means a world.